How's it going, my dudes? Welcome back to another KONOSUBA video. Today I'll be going through all the 4-star characters that I think are worth pulling. Not all of them can be pulled because of the limitations to the banners currently existing in the game, but from what I've seen so far, I have not looked at the tier list as well, but from what I've seen in the characters over here, these are my opinions, and these are the characters that I think are really good and really powerful and synergizes really well for what's in this game. I would like to preface first that some characters may not be obtainable now, like for example Kazuma above 4-2. He's not going to be available in the current lineup, but he will be available in the future, so just take note of that, okay? And then some important things, it's going to be a recurring thing. In this game, generally speaking, the content that you want to excel in are content like the events and the battle arena, and usually these content would force you to face a single target boss. So as such, what I would like to prioritize just out there is single target hits. I think single target hits are going to be very remarkable. Not only just single target, but maybe a lot of debuffs and a lot of buffs for your team as well. So let's take a look at Kazuma over here. His super is really good. It's a single target hit, although it's just normal magic damage, but he comes with a moderate recovery for all allies, which is nice because the moment you can drop your super, that's about time when your team needs a little bit of healing. Okay, and not only that, he comes with two other skills, one being a defense debuff, which is really nice. Okay, so there's a physical defense debuff over here, and he also has a boost to physical attack for all allies. I think the only issue that I have with him is that he actually does magic damage. Okay, so he doesn't actually do physical damage, which means that he doesn't truly benefit from his kit all that much other than his normal attack. So it's just like his super doesn't really fit that well. Alright, but he does have a decent magic attack, which is kind of nice. So his kit is not bad as a support buffer / off DPS. Next in line will be Megumin Explosive. This is very clear cut, okay? So her trait itself provides a damage boost to all fire attacks that she does, and her kit is entirely fire, which means that even her super benefits from it. So she comes with a boost to your magic attack, which is very good, and she has a reduction of enemies' magic defense, which is doubly good. So using these two skills together, they'll be able to debuff the boss really well, and then after that you can drop your ult. But the downside to this is that she faints immediately, which means that she will have to be replaced by a real lineup afterwards. But the amount of damage that she can do is really insane, and it makes up for the fact that she dies afterwards. Similar to Megumin Explosive, there is also Megumin Explosive Devotion. The only major difference here is that she don't have any more magic defense debuffs anymore, but she does come with two different elements, which makes her very useful in various situations. So sometimes you have a boss that's weak to fire, sometimes you have a boss that's weak to water, and with that she actually covers both ends. And not only that, she also has slightly higher magic attack. Okay, 312 versus Megumin Explosive, which is 311. Pure support buffers and healers like Darkness, for example, may not be essential because of the fact that when she don't attack, right, when she don't do enough damage, you're not actually going to get points to like your battle arena scoring and all that. So she may be good in the real line when like one of your allies die, and then you summon like Darkness in to heal a little bit with her first skill here, and then like maybe buff defense for a bit. That could be useful, but not necessarily very good in the end game. Chris is an interesting character over here. Chris High Flying Thief, because like her super hits all enemies and does a significant reduction to their agility, which means that they take lesser turns, which kind of like protects her team in a sense, and also the boss doesn't get to attack that often, so the boss might not be able to land debuffs on your team that frequently. And also in addition, she also has Tornado Edge Plus, which is very good because it has a cooldown of 17 seconds and you actually reduce their physical defense for a total of 16 seconds, so you're technically constantly making sure that the boss is on physical defense reduction, which is going to be very useful in DPS. The same can be said for Chris Made to Loot, and Chris My Treasure has a different kind of kit, although she doesn't have a defense debuff anymore, but she does have a minor boost to agility for all allies, so your team takes turns a little bit more frequently. Yun, Megumin's friend, is on the borderline of good, so she does have like a team-wide minor boost to magic attack for 12 seconds. Seems kind of okay, but her major selling point is the fact that she's a light type, so all her skills are all light type, and her trait itself boosts her light type damage, so she can do pretty good damage throughout, and the fact that she's light, she will never do less damage to her opposing element. And this is the complete copy of Megumin, Iris Royal Holiday over here. So she does the same thing. She has light attack throughout, and she also boosts physical attack for your allies. So she would be the physical counterpart to Union. And Aru Bestbot would be a pretty decent dark type damage dealer because she comes with a moderate reduction of enemies' magical defense. So depending on the kind of element that you're facing up against, you might want to tailor your team to fit a certain elemental lineup, and then she would fit very well in a magic damage dark type. Her dramatic author version does come with both light and dark types. This is really good because you're either always going to do neutral damage or going to do superior damage. So she can be quite useful, but if you're going to be up against a light type, probably her other version would be better. Thus, Delinquent Adventurer is actually quite good because he comes with a moderate reduction of enemies' physical defense and also a minor reduction of enemies' agility, which, like I said before, reducing the enemy's agility means your team has higher survivability and the boss has less opportunities to land debuffs on your team. So he does have a really good kit along with a pretty decent physical attack attribute of 308. His My Treasure version is also pretty good because he gives your team a physical attack boost, and at the same time he has light attribute attacks, which means that he's going to be doing neutral / positive elemental damage. And his EX alone allows his neutral typing super to actually be boosted by a total of 6%. Rin Certified Wizard is pretty good because she has straight up wind type attributes all over, and her trait also boosts that as well, and she comes with magic defense reduction for 12 seconds on a cooldown of 15 seconds, which means that the opponent is almost always on magic defense reduction, which is really nice. And she also does have a very niche enemy physical attack reduction with one of her attacks, which could be quite useful depending on the foe that you are facing. However, I think her Sunsoak version, which is whatever that is released right now, is actually a lot better than her other version. So she has magic defense reduction and she has magic attack boost to yourself, which means that she's actually kind of like the Megumin, but she does extremely well for the current event and the current battle arena. So she will definitely be something that you should consider if you're going to pull from the limited edition banner. Leah Exo Hearts is not bad. She does have a very nice moderate boost to physical attack for all allies for 10 seconds. However, you wouldn't really want to put her in the front lineup because her super over here is, while it's good, right, significant boost to physical and magical defense to all allies and moderate boost to their super gauges. This seems good, but you don't really want to like waste so much time with her not doing that much damage just so that she can boost your super a little bit, and then afterwards she becomes useless all over again. So she may be decent, but probably not great. In fact, I think if you want to go for a support class, I think her 3-star version is a lot better because she has a trait that actually boosts her super gauge fill rate, which means that she actually reaches her super much sooner and she actually performs her function as a battery much better. I will only talk about one single CLO. I'm not going to talk about any of the other healers because they all kind of like the same. You don't really want healers to be in your front lineup because you don't want them to be wasting time to not hit the boss, okay? Because there's a timer, there's a time limit to how long you can hit the boss, and you don't want to waste one of your slots on a healer. So she could be good in the rear, so when one of your allies fall in battle, she will actually come back, boost a bit of physical defense, do a bit of heal with her 2 skills over here, and then that's probably it. But honestly speaking, you could do without a healer. You could just have a secondary DPS at the rear, and that would be good enough. Now this is one of the most interesting characters that I've seen here because her super actually gives a significant boost to physical attack to all allies for 16 whole seconds. This is a very big boost, coupled with the fact that she's a single target damage dealer, and along with a minor boost to physical attack for all allies. So that means that she can keep up a attack boost for your entire team throughout the entire span of her being alive on the field, which is really quite good. So she fits a physical attack team comp very well. Her Exo Hearts version is basically the same, except that now she comes with a chance to bind enemies for a period of time. For all physical teams, I think Melissa is going to be a must-have. Her super itself has a significant reduction to the enemy's physical defense for 20 whole seconds on a single target damage. And not only that, she does have her own moderate boost to her own agility for 16 seconds with a cooldown of 17 seconds, which means basically she's constantly attacking very frequently, which is very nice. So her kit itself is very well rounded, very well synergized, and she's a dark type, which means that she either do neutral damage or positive elemental damage. Very good for all physical teams. The hazing effect that she has as well could be good against certain bosses who are susceptible to hazing, which means that they'll probably hit you a lot less, and that gives you a little bit more of like sustainability. While Melissa Elegance has the same super, which is really good, I'll argue that she's slightly not as good as her other version because she has an attack buff for herself, but the thing is, you could easily get an attack buffer from another character, right, to boost your whole team. So it's kind of like a waste on her. Having haste itself, having the agility itself could be more useful in terms of DPS. And there you go, that's the list of characters that I think are really worth pulling. While some of them can't be pulled right now, there are many of them over here that you can definitely aim for, such as Melissa. She's really, really good. And like I said, I haven't actually looked at the tier list, so I don't really know what's really optimal out there, but this is just based on what I can see and what I've looked through, scanned really quickly. I might do like a 3-star tier list next time, if I have the time, of course, because there is a lot of 3 stars around. But yeah, so I hope that this information is useful for you. If it is, don't forget to share it with your friends who are also interested in this game. This game seems to have a really good potential in the future, and I'd like to see how this game progresses along the way. So with that said, this has been Free to Play, by the way, and I'll see you, as always, in the next video.